So I'm back on the internet. It's been a long time. Most of you who watch this probably won't know that I was once on the internet because you cannot find my videos, so I don't know why I'm starting it like this. However, I am here to start a project 100 uses. That's what it's called, right? I was thinking about starting a project pan, but my intention isn't really to pan things. My intention is to use up the products I have, even though my collection is very minimal and I'm trying to keep it very minimal. I've been tracking my usage on my two eyeshadow palettes. I'll show you them now. So we've got the Carnival 3 Love Tahini. Look at her. She's beautiful. And I've also got this Devinah palette that I have. There I am. And I'll show you the inside of those later. But I have these palettes. I've been tracking how much I've been using them since I got them. So I thought that now that a new year is starting, I would share that progress with the internet. And whoever might happen to want to watch this to see how much progress someone like me gets in an eyeshadow palette. And when I say someone like me, I mean that I do not wear makeup to work. I don't work in a profession where it's mandatory or encouraged to wear makeup at work. In fact, I feel kind of uncomfortable wearing makeup to work. I also don't wear makeup I don't wear subtle makeup ever. I don't wear makeup very often, so I thought it'd be fun to see how long it takes me to get to 100 uses. I'm tracking it anyway, and to see how much it takes for someone who doesn't wear makeup a lot to, use up their products, and how slow that process is going to be. Also, I just love these videos. Honestly, this year, I think 6 months in, I started watching project pans, pan those eyeshadows, pan that palette, project 100 uses. I've been up and down a bunch of people's channels, like really big panners, really small panners, and I really love watching this stuff. And so I thought I'd start one with you guys so you could watch my weird small collection and see how I get on with that. So I guess I'll show you my palettes. So we got the Devinah one. This is a custom palette that I made for myself. This is the first palette I got. Yes, it was very expensive, but since I only had 2 eyeshadow palettes, I figured it would be fine to get a very expensive palette, considering all in all, my makeup collection is not going to be as expensive as a lot of people's, even if I buy really expensive palettes, because I only have 2. So this is the color story I picked out. Isn't it beautiful? I love this thing. It's so good. It's such a grungy palette. So maybe I'll take these shades out and tell you the names. I'm not gonna do that, actually. That would be very messy, and I'm currently sitting on my bed. But here are the shades. If you want to know specifics, maybe I will write them in the description. I'll look them up and write them down. They're actually pretty decently accurate. Ooh, that blue, you can see the shift. It's a blue to green shift. The blue and the red and the gold are not shifts. They're just blue and red and gold. This gold is everything. It's amazing. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. It's still my most beautiful shadow. This black, also phenomenal. I think it's Gloom, but it's so good. It's so black. And I haven't used a lot of eyeshadow in my life, so it might not be the best black out there, but it is a very nice black, and I really enjoy using it. So that's this palette. You guys probably have seen this one before because it's not a custom palette, but the Carnival 3, I decided to buy, I actually got as a Christmas gift to myself from my boyfriend. We do Christmas early, so I'll just pick out what I want to buy. He'll pick out what he wants to buy, and we'll just send each other the money for it, or we'll just pick it up for each other. We do Christmas in a very small way, but that's how I like it. And he seems to be pretty okay with that too. So I decided to get this guy because I knew I wanted to only have a very small makeup collection. So when I got this one, it's very grungy. There's not a lot of colors. So I was trying to figure out what palette I would get where I would, one, like all the colors. And I watched someone, I'll link them down below, swatch all the colors on their eyes. And I thought all of the colors were beautiful and I really liked them all. I wanted something with a lot of different colors that was fun. This one actually has a mirror, which I don't know how I feel about mirrors and palettes. I don't think every palette needs a mirror in it. I like palettes that don't have mirrors, but I do admit having one palette with a mirror is nice. I just wish it weren't every palette, because that's a lot of waste in a palette. I think, yeah, like I said, it's a lot of waste. It's a lot of manufacturing just for a mirror, which you probably have in other palettes, or you could get separately to bring with you. But having a mirror is nice, I do admit. But here's, oh, she looks beautiful. Look at her. Oh, I'm so happy. I don't know if you can tell, but I love color. Like I said, I don't do a lot of eyeshadow before this year. I never owned an eyeshadow palette before. I did borrow some eyeshadows from a friend, but here's how she's looking. I haven't even used all the colors yet. I think I've used this 7 times. I have it written down, just not on me. But I've used, which ones have I used? I think I've used yellow. It wasn't very good. I might try it again on its own and see how she does. And it might be, I think a lot of these colors seem hard panned, I think is the word for it. But they have this kind of like, I don't know if it's a hard pan, but they have like a hard kind of sheen on top of them, a lot of the shades, and those are the shades that seem to not be working. Yellow was one of them. But I've used, what have I used? I used tan lines and ginger, rum. I've used khaki. I think I tried key lime. I think I've done vanilla. I've done some of these purples. I did twilight, I think, and grape. Anyway, I've used a couple of these. I've used a little bit of everything. I haven't gotten into the blues, actually, or the greens, which is weird because I was really excited for those. But I'm going to keep using it, and I think I might try and do it where I try to use, like, I'll go this way to this way and try and use every color, and kind of like, maybe I'll make like I'll draw the palette out and name all the shades, and then I can cross them out as I use them, so I know I've used every one. And I'd like to at least use every one once. I think that's my goal, because people have goals for these, right? I'm not going to set a number goal for any of them ever, because I don't want to lock myself into using things that I don't want to. I have anxiety issues. I'm going to therapy for it, which is exciting. It's starting in, I think, the end of January. That's neither here nor there. But I have like depression, I have anxiety issues, I have all sorts of mental health issues, which means sometimes I don't have the energy or the willpower to put on makeup, and I don't want to force myself to put on makeup. I don't want to put it on if I don't want to, or if my eyes are irritated, which they often are. So I'm not going to put number goals for anything. I'm not really doing this to, and no, force myself to use makeup. I'm doing it more because I think it's really interesting to track makeup after all of the project pans I've watched and see how it gets used up and how quickly I use it, and how different it looks from one use to the next. I'm also going to update this not every month, because like I said, I don't use makeup that often. I use it maybe, I put on eyeshadow sometimes like 5 times a month, sometimes like, I'd say never more than like 10 times a month, and sometimes maybe like 2 or 3 times a month. So I don't use eyeshadow very often, so this isn't going to be updated every month. I might do it every 2 months just to, you know, have it update every once in a while, but there's probably not going to be a lot of progress even once every 2 months. But it's nice to check in, so I might do that. I might do every 3 months. I'm definitely not going to do past 3 months, so like a quarterly update. So this might be going for a while, but that's all that there is about that. I just want to show you this again. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, wait. Let me open this other one with one hand. Oh, yeah. That's beautiful. Because the Love Tahini is so bright and this one's so grungy. The thing didn't like about this palette that I made, which is all my own fault because I made it myself, is that it's not very bright, it's not very colorful, except for that red, which is iconic. The gold is so good. The shimmers of Devinah are really good. I really like them. This one's very, the blue shimmer it's more scattered, but I bought it specifically to be scattered. I wanted to do like a red and blue, like a blue with this on top to be like the night sky. That was my whole vibe, so I got that on purpose. But that one's not very bright and colorful, and I love bright and colorful. I don't want to wear makeup just so people don't know I'm wearing makeup. I'm too lazy for that and too depressed, frankly. But this one doesn't go deep enough. As far as I can tell, like, I think I've tried deepening some purple looks with Blackberry, if I remember it was. I think so. But I know I've tried doing some, like, deep purple looks, and they didn't come out as deep as I want them. I really like that grunge, that dark, that, like, very deep outer corner. I haven't tried the deep yet, but I will. But a lot of these colors, I tried to do a look with ginger and cocoa and rum. No. With ginger and cocoa and then the gold in my other palette, because that gold is phenomenal, and frankly, these shimmers ain't shit compared to it. That's just that's just how it is. They're fine. They're not great. The shimmers, I don't. The reds, oh my god, I've used the reds a couple times. I used Blaze, and I think I deepened it with chili pepper, and I compared it to some of the reds in here, and they're much more rich, which, again, these, I knew what they were going to be when I got them. I'm not complaining. They're very, like, grungy and deep, but these are vibrant and bright, and I love it. So yeah, I got this because I wanted some vibrant, bright colors, but it does not pull all that deep. So I can pull this in to make it more grungy, and I think I'm going to try mixing some black in here. I'm probably going to use the black exclusively from here until it's done, unless I'm trying to test out this black against it to see which one's better. But I don't want to use the black in both these palettes at the same time. I'd rather just finish one up and then use the other. Again, that's going to take a very long time, but that's the theory. So this black probably isn't going to get touched unless it's for comparison's sake until the other black is. But yeah, this one's bright, it's colorful, it's nice. So between these two palettes, I have some grunge, I have some really bright. There's lots of other eyeshadow palettes I could have gotten and I liked, but for only having two eyeshadow palettes and using makeup as little as I do, I really felt that it would be wasteful of me to buy a bunch of beautiful palettes that to buy a palette where I'm gonna need like 16 other palettes to get all the kind of looks I want, whereas this has a lot of colors. This one's all the grunges that I need. Not that I need makeup at all, because it's not a necessity, but you know what I mean. I can make a good variety of looks between these two palettes. This one's 40 shades, this one's 12, so that's 52 colors. Yeah, this one's 40, right? 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yep, 40. That one's 12. Yeah, so 52. I was right. I can math. But 52 eyeshadows for somebody who doesn't use eyeshadow that much, I think is a lot. It might even be excessive, but I think it gives me hopefully a good shot of finishing these up by the time they go bad. I've heard it takes, you can probably keep your eyeshadows if you keep them in a good environment for like 4 years before they start to really, you gotta really pay attention. So I'll probably start paying attention to them at 2 years, but I'm hoping I don't have to throw them out before they, I'm hoping I can use up a lot of these if I can. Again, I don't use makeup that much. I don't know how realistic that is, but that's the goal, is to have makeup, to use it, to love it, to use it up if I can. And unless I completely use up this or completely use up this, which that one's a joke. Unless I, completely use up every shade in this. This is singles also. So I guess maybe if I use up an entire shade, I can buy a new one, but I'm not going to do that. Unless it's just shade I use all the time. Like this green is everything. I love her. But like these reds, I'm probably not going to replace. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to deal with that for the singles, but I think I'm not going to buy another palette unless I completely use up one of these guys. So these are going to be my palettes for the next, presumably, 4 years of my life. And that's going to be all the makeup I own as far as eyeshadows are concerned. And that's where they are now. So I'm going to zoom you up, do some close-up shots of them so you can see kind of what they look like to start with for the year. And sorry this has been so long. Hopefully someone enjoyed it. I tried to do one of those cool, oh, is that, you know, one of those shots, but I used my wrong hand, so here we are. I don't know if you guys can see, but you can hopefully see that there's a little bit of a teeny baby dip in there. That one's a little harder. There's some stuff in there. That one's not really. This one has a bit of a dip. I don't know if you can see it. Oh god, especially with, yeah. You can see. These are all disturbed a little bit, but mostly unbothered. There's always a little tiny dip. That one, dip over there. This one's pretty undisturbed, honestly. It needs more. The red is pretty undisturbed as well. There's no real dip. You can start to see pan in the back. But yeah, most of them are unbothered. It's mostly this one. It's got the most. This one's starting to get one. This one has a little bit. This one, you can start to see some right in there. You can kind of see it's starting to, it'll get a dip soon. Those ones will get a dip, but none of them really have a dip. These ones, mostly, I've just swatched all of them, so you'll see a little bit of disturbance. Some of them are very flaky, like I had to swatch some of them very lightly and some of them very, very hard, and it was hard to tell which ones were which, so some of them I over swatched and some of them didn't perform well in swatches, so they're pretty unbothered. There's just a little bit of, you know, flaking from swatching them, some of them, and some of them from using once. But there's that. Oh, that's what I mean. Like that? Is that hard pan? Is that what hard pan's called? I heard you can use tape. I don't think we have tape in my house. I've been mostly like that. You can see where I've just kind of scraped it away and then used, basically with that kind of stuff, if it's not picking up, I'll either scrape it with my brush and then use that as powder, or I'll scrape it separately and just use it as powder. Or I'll just kind of work into it until it wears away. But I've heard tape can fix it, but I don't have any, so this one's pretty undisturbed, pretty natural. I've only used it, like I said, I think 7 or 8 times. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry I'm laying down now, but I laid on myself to try and get a good angle to show you guys some of the like tiny baby dips that are happening. I just like stuck the palettes on my stomach and showed you the tiny baby dips as best as I could. I found that was the only way I could get it to work, so I decided I didn't want to sit up. Plus, I think this ankle's pretty cute on me. Also, you'll notice when I do these, my hair is going to be growing out. I want to grow it out to like a, I don't know, to like a very gender neutral, who knows what they are kind of vibe, to like maybe a weird mullet or like a bowl cut, but like a cool one, or maybe just like a vaguely masculine haircut. I don't know. But my hair's going to be growing out while you watch these, so that will also be fun. So you can stay updated for that, or for the makeup, or just to hang out with me if you like. Anyway, I'll see you guys in probably 2 months. I'll probably start making other videos too. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I'll see you in 2 months with this project at any rate. Bye guys! Have a good day!